Welcome everyone, and thank you for joining us with this combination of the Hatha yoga, the Yin yoga practice, and the sound healing, what I like to call the vibrational healing. Uh, and just for those of you, Leah mentioned that some of you might be new to this approach to the Yin or this approach to the yoga. The most important thing to remember is that it's very intimate and it's very intuitive. What we're really trying to do as we sink into the layers is to really unlock this sense of intuition and this sense of wisdom. So at any time, if you're uncertain or you don't feel safe or something doesn't feel right, or you just have an inclination to make an adjustment or come out of something, please feel free to follow that. Yeah. And if you're not sure about something, then afterwards you can ask me and we can, follow up. But it's a very unfolding kind of experience. And the interesting thing is that we're bringing the vibration into the physical body practice. But on some level, what we want to understand is that we're always exploring the vibration of the physical body. We're exploring the vibration of the psyche, the vibration of the heart, the vibration of our spirit. So the vibration and the sound healing that Leah will be sharing with us is just to weave into that. So as you're taking in the sound vibrations, the same thing with my voice, nothing really to hold on to in an instructional kind of way. Most important that we just relax and relax and relax and sink in. And the question then becomes, what is vibration? If this is what we're working with, if this is the foundation of what we're working with, and the only answer to that question is everything. So we're going to sort of settle in and relax into this place that has really no definition, no form, nothing we can hold on to. So we're opening up as much space as we can to invite these layers of exploration in. So mostly enjoy, and then any benefits that happen physically will just be a consequence of doing these poses. But certainly, be interested in them, but be careful with them. The body has a tremendous amount to share with you. And that's what Leah and I, through the sound vibration and the Hatha yoga, are holding space for, is to explore the wisdom and the information that your body has to share with you. So Leah, anything you'd like to share from your end?
Yeah, I mean, what you just said is the reason why I love doing these collaborations with you, because you explain it so beautifully. Really the sound, as we were talking about a little bit earlier, is untangible, and so sometimes we wonder if it's what's really happening there. But the fact is, we are all vibrational beings, and we go out of tune, and we can somehow, through this the experience of the drone sound, this one reoccurring chord, come back into a homeostasis or a wholeness. But even saying that is putting something on there that would inform your experience. And the thing is with sound is that what's so beautiful is that you just will get the experience that you need. The sound is alive, and it comes through in magical ways. And so it's just with Will opening the body and allowing the sound in, just allow that experience to happen. You might feel all kinds of things, but allow that, trust that, just to release and let go. That's really what it's here for. Yeah.
Good, thank you.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's just make yourself comfortable. If you'd like to sit up, to open. If not, if you're already down and relaxed, please stay there. So we just take this opening few moments just to come into our own quiet internal space. You just come into your own quiet internal space. Now the vibration of yoga. So we're going to begin just by putting the body in a rather restorative position. So I'm not sure how many people have the bolstering, but I'm going to just show this with some pillows. So what you'll need to have is either a large bolster or some pillows for your legs. And then I've made what I'm calling a bit of a cradle for your pelvis. So this is not to create a lot of compression, certainly not in the lower back, but it's to soften the back part of the body between the hips, which would be the pelvic bowl. That, and then another rolled towel or blanket for the neck, not the back of the head. I'm going to use this little pillow for the neck. And then just simply set yourself on it so you feel supported and comfortable. So the back of the pelvis will settle on whatever padding you've put there. And again, it doesn't need to be extensive, just to soften. You put the legs up on something to elevate and relax the hip flexors, and then something under the neck, and particularly under the neck, so the chin is a little bit above the forehead, so we're not crunching or bringing the cervical spine out of its normal natural curve. So really let the upper body relax. Yeah, the back of the head can be a little off the floor, but the most important thing is to have the chin a little above the forehead. So as you're relaxing, I just like to invite you to give the part of you that is calculating and needing to take in more information, needing to figure things out and fix things, this part of you, which is a lovely, beautiful, important part of you. But the invitation is to give this part of you a rest. So we're going to bring a sense of equilibrium between just really the tonality of my voice, not so much the content, what you're feeling in your physical body, and the vibrations that will be shared from the instruments. We're going to try to bring an equilibrium between those three things. So at this level, there's nothing that we need to hold our awareness to from an intellectual place. So all of this clutter and chatter of the mind, as you're letting your body relax, let this left hemisphere of your brain relax as well. And then to just allow yourself to relax into the cells themselves. So, billions and trillions and millions and quadrillions of cells vibrating in your body, pulsating in your body. Allow yourself just to relax and soften and just melt into your cells. Allow yourself to allow this movement of vibration to draw you into any physical sensations that you might be feeling. And again, at the level of vibration, so whatever these sensations, whatever these cells imagine, just let yourself relax into them. The vibration of your sense of yourself allow yourself to relax into. Allow yourself to blend into the vibration of your breath. And then any relationship, any objective experience that's within your realm, within your domain, it could be the moon, it could be the wind, it could be your work, it could be another individual uh, that you love, it could be someone that you are challenged by. Just pick one relational object in your whole sphere and allow yourself to relax into that vibration as well. So the invitation is that you're relaxing into the vibration of your cells, the vibration of your sensations, the vibration of yourself, the vibration of your breath, and the vibration of any relational object in your sphere. And then very slowly allow all of these vibrations to just blend into one vibration. So you're just simply relaxing into the essence of this pulsation, of this vibration. and also allowing yourself to feel the vibration of this relaxation, this vibration of holding everything so solid and certain, and just feeling an openness. If we truly want to step into yoga, if we truly want to step into the yoga of vibration, we begin to let go of who we think we are, and we begin to let go of what we think we know, and start to be very interested in this miracle of how the purity of vibration, of pulsation, begins to morph into an interpretation of our psyche and our heart and our body and all the complexities of life. So it's a very foundational inquiry that we bring to this inner spaciousness. And so let's begin to slowly and very gently just start to find your way out of this restful position. Maybe bring your knees up to your chest and hug them in a bit, and let your head go side to side. And then when you're ready, just come on up. And two things that I would like to set up with. So the first is either the large bolster behind you or the same pillows that you use to elevate the legs will work very well. What I simply want to do is I simply want to have this about arm's distance from your body, this height, and we're going to simply interlock the fingers and put them up on that with the elbows straight, if that's possible. Yeah, so we can just open the shoulders here. Yeah. So that will be in back. Don't worry about that yet. Just set that up in back of you. And then in front of you, if you could just have something soft in front of you, we're going to open a square position here. So you'll bring the right leg in close to your body, and then we'll take the left leg. So I just want that ankle to be padded, and we'll place it in front. Yeah, so I've not brought the left leg on top of the right leg. So very close pose, but just a little bit different for the left side of the body. So we want to have this open, nice open position. And you can angle it if you need to open it more or angle this. Again, just really follow the wisdom of your own skeleton. And then let's take the hands and bring them behind. And if you can't bring them all the way and get them up on that, just bring them as close as you can. If you're able to interlock your fingers, that would be lovely. If you're able to bring them up on that height that I recommended, so just do that. Just bring the arms up here. And then any restriction, any tension, contraction, discomfort, the exploration is to allow yourself to keep layering below all of those definitions, all of that immediate reaction to what you think is happening, and start to see, feel, experience, explore that this is just vibration. The contraction and the expansion is the yoga of vibration, the yin and the yang of vibration. So we don't go too deep, we don't go too softly. We find a place where we can ease into this expression of the body as it's vibrating. So just a little bit of now movement with the head, if you will, if you'd like, just to ease into the complexity of the shoulders, any tightness in the neck. Always lovely here to open the mouth as wide as you can at some point and really stretch the superficial fascia under the skin of the face. Relax the jaw muscle, open the throat. So just as wide as you can open it, and then feel what's happening in the muscles of the face. Especially if you have to if you're in situations where you have to smile a lot, luckily I don't have to smile that often, only when I want to. So my face tends to be very relaxed. But if you have to smile a lot, or if you have to chew a lot, tighten up the face muscles and the jaw muscle. Then let's release and relax the arms. So just bring them forward, and then very softly, with a very rounded lower back, allow yourself to come into a gentle forward bend. If you need any bolstering up front to support yourself, allow your arms to find that support, but really let that lower back relax as much as possible, so there's no physical or mental attempt to stretch. We're attempting to relax into the body, relax into the pose as much as possible. yourself to appreciate the genuine power and healing of relaxation, that uh, we're able to slip into this place where it's tremendously spacious when we relax and we begin to recede from having to hold everything, having to label everything. It's just spacious. It's just a lovely way to almost float through the body. And as we approach different aspects, we lean into the fact that they're vibrating. Even thoughts are just manifestation of vibration. Thoughts have an energy presence, as does the sensation in the knee, as does the pulsing and the vibrancy of the organs themselves. So the relaxation is opening space and allowing yourself to sit quietly in this space that doesn't need to be defined. This is the beauty of making direct contact with your direct experience. We're actually not trying to find a reality. We're simply letting go of unreality and just being with the presence of ourselves. So let's come on up from here, please. And let's just open the legs out. Let the knees relax and breathe a bit. Maybe have a little sway or a little wobble. And then we'll prepare to do the other side. So let's take that blanket that we had in front, and this time we'll take the left leg and bring it in front, and then the right leg will be on something soft, a blanket or a towel or something. And I'm going to recommend that we just open the shoulders again. So it's just so nice to do. So just bringing the arms around back. And if you're able to interlock the fingers, yes. I mean, you could even hold a towel if that's going to work for you. And just with the elbows straight, just begin to bring the arms up. And you can just hold them up. Setting them on something is just because the muscular tension fatigues after a while. So you can either set them on the bolster you have there, or just begin to bring them up. And then again, just allow the head to find any points of range of motion that seem like they're calling for a little bit of attention. And then we can relax the arms, and with that right foot front open, let's come forward again. So a nice softening, really always with the intention of relaxing into the posture. Yeah, so you sort of feel the tugging and the pulling. This is something that we want to be especially aware of, the way that the body starts to restrict. So we're working with this, the three primary systems, obviously the skeletal system, the muscular system, but then the fascial system is what weaves and connects it all. And it's extremely nonlinear. So where the deep root of the fascial restriction may be is not always, and seldom is where we're feeling. So we enter into the system and just let it express itself. That's what each and every one of these asanas is for your body, at whatever level you're leaning into to simply express itself, and then to listen to that, that sense of expression. And again, the interweaving, if you will, the blending is the vibration of just my tonality, just the invitation really to relax, to feel safe, to feel open and spacious, the physicality of your body at the level of vibration, and the vibrations of the instrument. So these are just all interweaving, and at some level, it's just one vibration that you're melting into. just try to stay with your energies. So another way that the vibration can be felt is through our energies or our prana. And we can see that there's a great habit of mind. There's a great a pathway of momentum and patterns that these vibrations and these energies want to morph into our thoughts and our habits and our reactions and our opinions. So what the yoga truly is staying as deep as we can and as close as we can to the root of these energies, and then learning to explore these energies in new ways. So we are really given this great freedom. We're given this freedom to remove any obstacles, any old opinions that no longer serve us, any outdated belief systems, any reactive patterns, any obsessive thinking that are springing up from the roots of these energies. And this is simply the yoga. It's a very personal exploration and just learning new ways to explore these energies that are really the flow of the whole body. All of these pranic pathways, all of the internal movement, this is just vibration. But in order to explore it, in order to learn these new ways, we have to be able to sit quietly and deeply with it. Good. So let's come on up from our forward bend. Nice and easy. Just relax your body up. And let's open up the legs. And let's lie down and we'll take a rest now. The deepening, if you will, or really, I would say more of cultivating the sensitivity is that we're not listening to the vibration that's being presented. We're more receiving it. So from this place of depth and relaxation and allowing the mental energies to rest as well, we're opening the pathways to be receptive. And this is also the quality of yin. Just as we're allowing the sensations from the posture to be received, we're allowing the vibrations of the instruments to be received. So nothing to listen to, but just open up your entire beingness, your entire presence of being to the vibration. And when I suggest this, this cultivating of clarity, um, be very interested in that, because what the deeper implication of what yoga is suggesting is to cultivate a clarity with what is. So when we can just sit quietly with what is, it's just stupendous, it's miraculous, it's awesome. And so part of the healing and part of the relaxing is getting closer to oneself. It's slowing back down into the clarity of just what is, because the rhythm of life and the rhythm of the mind, the left hemisphere intellectual yang masculine mind, usually keeps us 10 steps ahead of ourselves. So we're missing the presence of just simply what is, the beauty and the awesomeness of what is. So this is the clarity that we're being invited to explore, just the simple clarity of what is. And then we develop the capacity to just let life unfold from there. That's our ground of being. Good. So let's come on up. And I'm going to demonstrate 3 versions of this backward bend. The most important thing to keep in mind is the length of time we're going to hold it. So it's going to be open-ended, yeah? So you'll think, wow, I've been here for a really long time. That's probably true. So we want to set the body up for maximum relaxation. So we're not struggling or wish it wasn't so deep or on the edge of feeling safe. So this is why the first one is maybe for some lumbar spines almost restorative, but for some there'll be a good deal of pressure. And I can also replicate this with the pillows if you don't have the large bolster. But I'm just going to show it with the large bolster, and then if you want to replicate it, I'll show you with the pillows and the blankets. So the first position would be just the big bolster, and we're going to come over it without letting it slide out. So we're going to tuck it in and bring the upper body over it. Yeah, so this is just quite lovely, and let the legs relax out, the arms to the side. Yeah. So this would be the first level for you. The second would be if you're feeling like I can even use a towel if you don't have the small bolster, is to put a little bit more compressive force into the lumbar. So I've elevated this a bit. Yeah. You could even just do it folded. You don't have to roll it. Even this would be significant. So I'll pull this in. And now, oh yes, this is a much deeper backward bend. Keeping, yes, the sit bones on the floor for sure for both of them. So this would be number 2. Again, if you're going to come to this depth, make sure that it's going to soften and relax and you feel safe over time. More important to stay for time than come into a deep or what you might think is an aesthetic position. And then the third choice would be, and this depends how your knees are doing, would be to bend the knees back, to sit between the heels and still use the support of the bolster. So, really make an honest assessment of how your knees and your quadriceps are feeling here. So if you want to do this one, again, we're going to hold this for some time. Yep. So the way that we would replicate this with the pillows is making sure that the upper body is supported, because as you saw in the bolster, the upper part of my body was supported. So I would put pillows here, and then I would get some equal height with my blankets and my towel even. So I'm bringing it all out. So let's see how this works. And feel free to experiment with this. Again, the main intention is to apply some compression in the lower back. And then, so this is perfect. I've used 2 pillows, a blanket, and a towel, and this is ideal. And then again, if you want something more in the lumbar, roll something up, put it there. If you want to bend the knees back with this configuration, you could do that as well. So just make sure you're good to sink in, to be receptive, to cultivate this clarity that we're exploring, and then we'll just stay here for some time. And always, if you're not certain, this practice, it's always better to move closer to being safe and not being drawn into that. Deeper is always better. The fascia itself that is actually tightening your body and your muscles and your joints has has 6 to 10 times more sensory nerve than muscle. So we're really easing into a system that has such a capacity to tighten and to express that tightening through pain and discomfort. So we want to be very, very respectful of this interweaving between skeleton and muscle, and treat it with great respect. And it opens slowly over time because it's so structural. And so to take a moment to go back to the quality, the experiential quality of vibration, the primal element of vibration is contracting and expanding. Yes, this is pulsation, this is vibration. I am suggesting that it is everything. So I would like to bring your awareness to this pulsation, this contracting and expanding through the quality of your breathing. To just simply be aware without any other overlay or interference or investigation that when you inhale, it brings a quality of contraction. It can be very, very subtle. It's better if it is subtle. And when you exhale, there's a quality of expansion, of release, of relaxing. So let's just begin there. Let's just begin there at the vibrational tone of your breathing. And then one of the benefits of coming into such a subtle experience with your breathing is that we're able to weave in to any feelings or even parts of the body that may appear dormant or stagnant. So it's as if you had the breath was somewhat of a light, and you are just gently shining this light, the light of awareness, the light of conscious awareness, into areas of the body that may be stagnant, may be dormant. So I'd like you to now begin this vibrational breathing into your reproductive organs. Inhale into your reproductive organs and feel this contraction, shine this light of conscious awareness, and exhale out of this area with release and relief and expansiveness. And just do this on your own pace, just for a few rhythms. Just inhale into your reproductive organs and feel, experience, allow the light to shine, and exhale out with anything that may need to just flush out or disperse on the exhalation. And now let's bring that same vibrating breath into the nasal passages. So breathe into the nasal passages. Let the inhale open into the brain itself and the skull, and feel this, this presence, this contraction, if you will. And on the exhalation, let everything just wash away. The exhalation is the cleansing breath. And again, at your own pace, just really feel the nuance of the nasal, the sinus passages, the skull itself. Same thing on the exhalation. It's just a dissipating of the chi, a releasing of the energy, the other end of the spectrum of the vibration. And then let's move the breath into the upper chest and the throat. The inhale bringing you into a focus, a shining of the light. The exhalation allowing that to disperse. And really feel this connection of the throat and the upper chest and the expansiveness on the inhale, and feel the release on the extension, the length of the exhalation. It just allows you to defocus and completely relax all of those contractive energies. And now we'll go back down. Let's bring the in breath into the lower belly. So this would be between now the navel area and the reproductive organs. So right in that lower dantian, right in that yin energy center of the lower belly. Just bring the inhale in slowly, subtly, gently. Explore any feelings, parts of the body that may be dormant or stagnant, and then let the exhalation just dissolve whatever is not needed there. And let me emphasize to really feel spaciousness in this lower belly area, especially when we exhale. We can really open up space that can become a very powerful center of gravity for us. And then let's complete this by bringing that same vibratory breath into the solar plexus. So we'll inhale right into the depth of the solar plexus and exhale throughout every pore in the body. Just allow yourself to gently just scan, an open-ended scan of your experience. And whatever it is that you come upon, whatever it is that is arising into your awareness, just let it dissolve right back into its vibratory nature. So we're not having to add anything to it. We're just allowing it to be this primal life force of vibration. So just scan, feel the mystery of this vibration, this aliveness. It's such a gift just to feel it without having to continually analyze it, continually have a running narrative. One of the great inquiries when we really begin to explore direct experience is that we can start to slow down enough so that instead of trying to change something and always trying to change things, whatever, we'll just leave it open-ended. Can we ask if what I think is happening is what's really happening? And so this gives us a beautiful sort of buffer between our reaction times. Before we change anything, do we have to change anything? If I can just make this inquiry, if what I think is happening is what is really happening, it's a lovely way to explore. It's a lovely way to have self-inquiry. So let's begin to shift out of this configuration of the backward bend. So always good, unless you have your knees bent, obviously address the bent knees first. And good to place the feet firmly on the floor and start to have some movement, take your time. Even what I was calling borderline restorative with this amount of time is going to invite a tremendous compression into that area. So soften, take your time, be gentle. And then when you're ready, we'll roll off of whatever bolstering you're using and just lie flat on the floor for a while. And we're going to move from flat on the floor. So if you could set yourself up flat on the floor and not have any bolstering under the legs or under the head, that would be best for this next thing. But let's rest first after that. And I do think that, ultimately this awakening or this realization that, is so, shrouded in, myth and fantasy in our practices, in our yogas, in our scriptures, is really nothing more than developing an intimacy with reality, a direct moment-to-moment intimacy with how our reality, our actuality is unfolding, and making such a profound discernment between that actuality and our amazing capacity to conceptualize. Not that we don't want to conceptualize, but we want to see that one is fantasy and one is reality. And to me, this is the awakening. This is the realization. So we get to explore that. And this is why we want to quiet down and we want to open up. We want to open up the energies, the vibrations. So this is why the invitation is not to listen to the sound that's being offered, it's to receive it, because not only do we have the frequencies that we can experience, but we can also start to discern the tremendous space between those frequencies. And this is the same with the body. So the frequency of your physical body, the frequency of your prana, your aliveness, and the frequencies of these vibrations blend together. They're one thing. And this is the foundation of the healing. So from lying flat on your back, let's come into a half crescent position. So a few things to keep in mind. So from flat on your back, can't see the length of my body, but that's okay. Let's just begin by just putting the hips a little bit to the left. Yeah, so just push the hips over to the left, but keep both sits bones on the floor. Then, keeping both legs straight without bending the knees, walk the heels over to the right. Then, let's bring the upper body over to the right as well. Good. So we've got both sits bones on the floor, both heels on the floor, no knees bent. We can then take the left arm, bring it up over the head, but make sure that you're not just hovering it over the head. So we want at least the back of the hand on the floor to support that shoulder. Then you can leave the legs as they are, or you could bring that left ankle up over the right ankle. Yeah, so now we've got a half crescent shape opening to the right side. Yeah, so if that left sits bone wants to roll, get the sits bone, both sits bones on the floor. That shoulder wants to roll, get the shoulder on the floor. And then just relax. So also the head. So you can keep the back of the head on the floor to keep the neck straight. You could turn the right ear towards the right shoulder. You could even turn the left ear towards the left shoulder. Primary, though, is to relax. So if you're going to explore the upper spine, do so with that intention in mind. you can, if you have your ankles crossed, let's uncross the ankles, relax that arm up over the head, and just start to move your body back to a straight spine. And before we go to the other side, if you feel to rest, you can just stay and rest. I'm also going to make a suggestion to come into a forward bend by just bringing the knees up to the chest. And then if you're able to keep going into that, sometimes it's nice to put something under the hips if you want to support it. But if you're able to, press onto the floor and just bring the knees up over the head and bend the knees to curl the lower spine and just come into this snail position. This is a lovely counter to what we just did. But anywhere along the line, what I was saying, I'll just show it with the big bolster, is that sometimes to really work your way into this pose, it's nice to put something under the pelvis, and it helps you to go a little bit deeper. Yeah, and this pose is just a genius position for stimulating and keeping your endocrine system healthy. So this is something that I do recommend to do on a daily basis, is really compress from the lower belly up into the skull itself, into the throat, for the thyroid and for your metabolism. So whatever depth you can get from that, let's do that right now. And then obviously, if you enjoy, if you don't have the bolster back there, and when you come into if you come into the deeper position, you can always interlock your fingers and bring your scapula together, and then open up the shoulders a bit as well. But the benefits here to your endocrine system, your metabolism, your thyroid, and on, are really supreme. So it's a lovely pose to just incorporate on a daily basis. And not to stay in this too long. So when you're ready, let's come back down out of it, and we'll move into the other side of that half crescent. So once your body is back to flat on the floor, then the same thing. It helps, I think it helps before you start curving the body to actually just push the hips to the right a bit. Yeah, so this begins the lateral flexion. And then you can walk the heels over to the left, bring the upper body over to the left. And again, the three places we're looking for is keep the right shoulder down, the right sit bone on the floor, and both heels initially on the floor. Then the right arm can come up over the head. Don't let it dangle though. Find at least the hand, the back of the hand on the floor, the wrist. And then if you would like it to go a little bit deeper into the lower ribs and the psoas, you could bring that right leg, the right ankle over the left ankle, and then straighten the legs out. And again, just finding or just listening for places in the body where it may, areas, feelings that may be dormant or stagnant. I want to go back to just a bit of appreciation to something I said earlier, in that the mechanics of your body, let's say, the biotensegrity of your body is not linear. The way that your body communicates is really at a quantum level. There's a quantum coherence that is as close to spontaneous as we know of, that the way that your body communicates. So something that first of all, we want to appreciate that we don't have to keep going in trying to figure out what's what. We simply open up space to let the intelligence of your body heal itself. Yeah, so this is the sign of a healthy system, is a system that can heal itself. So what we're exploring here is that this vibration, and again, whether it's the vibration of this, sort of vague information that I'm allowing to float to you, or the vibration that Leah is allowing to be received by you, or the actual vibration of your body, we want to remember, and we want to remember directly, and we want to start to use the yoga to reawaken that this vibration is intelligent beyond what we can comprehend. It's not left hemisphere or right hemisphere. It's not kidney or liver or brain. It's not only the entirety of your system, it's the entirety of the cosmos. So allowing ourselves a relationship with this vibration that is incredibly, let's say, divinely intelligent. just to make sure, again, to allow yourself the sensitivity and the clarity to explore that this intelligence of the vibration, this information of the vibration is not something that is distant or esoteric or something we have to go looking for. This is embedded within every cell of your body. So even the discomfort itself is incredibly intelligent. The discomfort itself is communicating to you in a way that is, I would say, pure information, pure intelligence. So what we're opening, not simply opening the body and opening the space to be receptive, but we're also opening the way that we listen. So again, we're not listening from an informational, analytical place. We're listening from a intuitive, intelligent, and even wise. The wisdom of the body is accessible to us. So if we become uncomfortable and we resist or we retreat, then we're not open to listening. So how to soften in to this energy, how to soften into the vibration, and seeing that the vibration of discomfort is just a contraction. The vibration of freedom and joy and lightness is just a vibration. And so we're trying to find an equilibrium between these two. But at some level, it's all information, and it's so incredibly valuable. And this is what we would call healing. This is what we would call ultimate medicine. So let's unhook the ankles if you have them crossed. Let's bring the upper body back over to a straight spine. And then again, your choice, if you would like to rest for a bit, if you would like to bring the knees up and come back into that forward bend, or anything counter that you need. So we'll take some time here before we move into what's next. And I do think this is a primary misunderstanding of the depth and the beauty and the wisdom of yoga, is that somehow yoga has turned into this this exercise format that we're going to release and remove and get rid of all the aches and pains, and we're going to be limber and supple and youthful, and nothing could be further from the truth. Yoga is meant to evoke these vibrations. Yoga is meant to evoke this rhythm between the contraction of discomfort and the expansion of openness, so we can explore it, so we can become intimate with it, so we can learn its language and really listen to it. Fortunately, a consequence of compressing and releasing and coming into asana and coming out then has a consequence of more openness in the body, because we're exploring these pathways where the chi is contracted, where the prana is blocked. But the yoga is meant for us to explore this very, very intimately, very subtly. So this is why we hold for a long period of time. This is why we cultivate internal quiet. We slow down the outer rhythms so we can explore the inner rhythms. Okay, so let's come on up, please. And I'm going to show this on the big bolster. And this is one of the positions that it really makes it worthwhile to have this large bolster. But if you don't, then fold up a blanket so it approximates this sort of shape, like if you have one of those yoga blocks, it could also be done with that with some covering, but it doesn't look like it's the same, but it pretty much is, because this is softer. So fold your blanket about the size of a yoga block if you have one. I wouldn't use the yoga block for this though. I'd use the blanket, but I'd like to show it on this first, because I'm going to make one little adjustment to what I usually do, and it's to go all the way to the shoulders. So if you have the large bolster, sit on it so it'll come up the spine, and then bring it into the mid back. Keep the feet on the floor and just keep snuggling down until the shoulders are on the floor. Usually I let the shoulders dangle for a while and let everything open, and this is right at the shoulder blades. My suggestion is to go below the shoulder blades and to get the shoulders on the floor. This is, you'll see what it is. I don't need to explain it to you. So we'll just open, massive opening for the rib cage, a stretch for the solar plexus, not to mention this compression from behind into the respiratory diaphragm. So this would be shoulders on the floor, legs then relax out, arms just to the side. Keep the head, try not to put anything, again, try not to tuck the chin down. Just let the head be flat on the floor, the back of the head. And then if you're going to use the blanket, then the same approximate position. You may want, if you're using this, because just the way you're not as supported as much, the upper spine tends to bend a little bit more. So then indeed you may want something under the head if you're using just this, but keep it not so it's in the lumbar area, but so it's right in that, below the scapula, right under the diaphragm, and then let the arms and the legs just relax out. And then just to, gently bring your attention to, this area, just as in the lower realms, the tightness of your pelvic bowl is a repository for so much tension in the body, and then it radiates and reverberates through the body. The same thing with the respiratory diaphragm. It's connected to so many organs and so many systems. So this position is incredibly lovely to explore any tightness in that upper solar plexus up under the rib cage, doing so with as much gentleness and sensitivity and an openness to the intelligence of this part of the body, the intelligence of the respiratory diaphragm, not just simply in our psychology and our physiology, but also in our emotional body as well. So again, just allow yourself to very, very gently and open-endedly scan your body, wherever your awareness is just naturally drawn to. And if you feel any sense of density, just allow the breath to soften into it. So there's a merging of that apparent density and the breath, almost massaging it, if you will, almost just saturating it gently. So we have a lovely intermingling of breath and density, vibration, intelligence. And at some level, these are all indistinguishable. We just, have this clumsy thing called language, but the actual experience of it is, far beyond our ability to describe. And this, I believe, is a good thing. And then let's, if you're not already out, let's put your feet on the floor, have a little bit of movement, and let's safely begin to roll off of this. And you can just roll to your side. And it's nice here because the fetal position here is a gentle forward bend. So you can kind of bring your energy in, let that mid back relax a bit. And then instead of taking a longer rest, I'd like to give you two choices. So I'd like to give you the choice of coming right back to where we started from in that relative restorative position, where we softened and cradled the pelvis, and we put the legs up on something. We had something under the neck. So this would be your first choice. Yeah, so just where we started, yes, with the legs up, the upper spine supported, and particularly the pelvic area, nice and soft there, nothing in the lower back. So that would be your first choice. The second choice would be to put the soles of the feet together. And what I'm going to suggest is to put the soles of the feet together, to come into a very gentle forward bend, and then just intuitively hold it for a time. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to see if Leah will continue to play for us to express this amazing healing vibration. So I'm not going to interrupt that to then invite you to open the legs out. But just intuitively, when you've stayed in this for what you think is a good amount of time, the forward bend, if this is your choice, then at some point along the way, open the legs out nice and wide and finish off with a full straddle pose. And use any bolstering that you need. So either come restorative and back to where we started, or if the lower back hamstrings are feeling called, come into a forward bend with the soles of the feet together, and then just open out and just when you will. So set up either one of those, and we'll see, unless Leah has floated off into the angelic realm, which is quite possible with her amazing mastery of these vibrations. So if she's still with us on this plane, maybe we collectively open our hearts to her and see if we could invite a little bit more vibration into our own hearts. So possibly this could be from Leah's heart to our hearts on these vibratory waves of healing and joy and love. Let's just take a moment and again come back to full circle. If you'd like to come out of your forward bend and lie down, that's your choice, or stay in it. But just coming back to a simple relaxing into the vibration of your cells, the vibration of your sensations, the vibration of yourself, softening into the vibration of your breath, and just relaxing into the vibration of any relational object that you are feeling drawn to, and allowing all of these vibrations just to blend, and really appreciating and feeling that we cannot find a boundary, we cannot find a separation between these vibrations. So at the core, at our deepest essence, we are all just one vibration. And this would be, another word for this would be love, would be happiness. And nothing to attain, nothing to defend. Then we rest or laugh or both. Namaste.